G'day guys, just Elliot here. Just letting you know this next episode that you're about to listen to hasn't been recorded in the best quality. So typical me, I did this amazing episode which you'll listen to shortly, but I hadn't plugged in my microphone, so it recorded through the computer speakers. So that's why the quality is a bit down, but I'm telling you, the words are still there, definitely. So please enjoy, and I promise it'll be clearer next time. Cheers. G'day everybody, my name is Elliot Waters and you're listening to the Dysregulated podcast. As always, thank you for tuning in. So today's episode is going to be a struggle because I'm sleep deprived. Now, if you've been listening to the show for any considerable amount of time, you would know that I am sleep deprived almost always. But it's different in this context because we need to remember that I am withdrawing off lamotrigine at present, so the mood stabilizer. Now, one of the key sort of determinants of a hypomanic or manic mood is less need for sleep and not sleeping as much, as well as many other things like elevated mood, racing thoughts. That's a big one for me. Very grandiose sort of ideas and plans, which also is happening a little bit to me at the moment, I feel. And if you're type 1 bipolar, there can be psychotic features as well. Of course, I'm type 2, so there's not. But yeah, so I haven't been sleeping much the last couple of days. And it seems to have coincided with me dropping this lamotrigine dosage. Now, the reason I've been sort of staying up is partly because I've been on the 9 o'clock closes at night. So, you get home from work, it's 9:30, you don't want to go straight to bed. By the time you have a shower and eat some food and do all that sort of stuff, it's just about midnight. Or it is for me because I'm so slow at getting those sorts of things done. Anyway, that's not the point of this episode. The point is, though, that I'm going to bed late, and it's not all my fault. But I'm also finding before sleep that I have this energy, and so I've been doing stuff. I've been sitting on my computer, I've been fixing resumes, I've been sending emails off to people, doing all this sort of stuff. Stuff that I think most people do during the day, but I seem to like to do it during the night. And I've always been a bit like that because, the world's asleep at night, so I can get some peace and quiet and just get my stuff done without having to worry about people bugging me. Those amazing people that reach out and ring me and try to see how I'm going. How dare they? But the point is, I love those people, of course, but the point is that the world is a lot calmer for me internally and externally when it's nighttime. And I've always gravitated towards doing stuff at night, like my thesis. That was all done at night, even though it was all about how important sleep is. So the idea that I'm sort of staying up a bit is not too foreign. But as I said, within the context of withdrawing from lamotrigine, which is the mood stabilizer I was on, I start to question the catalyst for this sort of this sort of lack of sleep that I've been having lately. So I don't know. And that's the thing. I don't know. I'm not here saying that, yep, I'm definitely hypomanic. That's not necessarily what's going on. But at the same time, there seems to be a few of those boxes being ticked. Less need for sleep is one, even though I'm dead tired, but I can't sleep. The other one I mentioned earlier briefly, the racing thoughts, that's definitely been happening. Definitely. I've got a billion thoughts going at the same time at the moment, and they're all jockeying for position. And there's also this, I don't know, there's this great, I feel like I'm on the cusp of something new and significant and massive, that's going to happen, something good, I think. But I have to work really hard to get it, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but there's this feeling within that's making me very unsettled that I need to really work hard, push the envelope as much as I can, because if I do, well, whatever this is going to be is going to fall into place, and ta-da, everything's good. So I don't know. I'm applying for jobs, which isn't in itself unusual either, because I've got this degree that I'm not using that I probably should, and unfortunately the podcast isn't quite making me enough money, none. So this isn't an income stream. So the fact that I need to find a new job and get some more money is not a foreign idea either. But you start to put all these things together, and then you start to think, okay, there's a bit of a pattern here. Is that my life is moving in one direction like it should be and it's great? Or is it being sort of pushed along by these unnatural currents of bipolar disorder and the fact that I'm what am I doing? Tapering off from the lamotrigine. So it's very interesting. It's something I need to think about. Although as always, I'm getting obsessive with these sorts of things, and I can't stop thinking about it. But it is important for me to try and keep a handle on things and have a bit of an idea of what's going on. Because if these hypomanic or manic moods, get out of control, it might seem really good during the time, but once everything falls down, because remember, what goes up, unfortunately, must come down. When it does come down, it can be quite severe, and the consequences can be pretty intense, that's for sure. You don't realise it during the moment because everything's going great. Even when things aren't going great, it feels like they're going great. So, people like to really push that mood along as much as they can, and I'm one of them too. I try and maximise that mood and make it last as long as possible, knowing though in the back of my mind that this probably isn't sustainable. Like so many things with me, this isn't probably sustainable, and there might be some nasty consequences around the corner if we don't put a lid on things. But I don't know, maybe I'm just being a bit jumpy. With the whole OCD thing, you can imagine what I'm like tapering off medications. I'm concentrating very much on any little side effect or change that could be happening. And this might not be bipolar. This could actually be an OCD sort of health anxiety thing. Who knows? It could be a multitude of things with me, but watch this space because, as I said, these sorts of symptoms, I suppose, on their own don't necessarily mean much. These symptoms put together still don't necessarily mean much, but then put it in the context of me having bipolar disorder and tapering off my mood stabilizer, then you got to start to wonder what's going on here. Is this actually, real life? Is this reality? Or are we spinning out of control like a runaway train? We're going to hit the brick wall any moment. So I don't know. Watch this space. All right. Thank you, everybody. That's it for now. I'd like to say I'm going to go for a sleep, but I'm not. But hopefully tonight I will, and I'll be able to report that I feel so much more refreshed tomorrow, and it was all in my head, as all of this is, and there was no reason to worry. But anyway, I'll keep this posted all the way through. If you're enjoying the show, feel free to like, subscribe, give the show a great rating, and because it's good for the algorithm, and share it around with your mates. And you can follow me on Instagram at elliot.t.waters. Until next time, see you later.